It's Monday, which means it is a new week of Beyond the Gates that has started in a cute little Monday episode today, I thought. I also want to say before we get into this episode, I have one of my competition reality web series starting at the end of May based on the show The Traitors. I'll probably put a trailer at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that, please. Also got to promote the Patreon, patreon.com/OCGTV. I want to give a shout out to all the new people that have joined the Patreon. Shout out to Ray. Shout out to Chucky. Shout out to Ridge. Thanks for joining. Still watching 1992 One Life to Live. Gonna be adding some days of our lives from the 80s, though, hopefully within the next few weeks as well. But let's jump into this Beyond the Gates episode. Let's talk about my girl Eva, first of all. She's still my favorite character, probably going to always be my favorite character. Amber Michelle is just someone that when she's on an episode, I think she gets my full engagement. I think she's great. She's done a great job as Eva. She's a very layered character too, which helps. Today she was meeting with some people. It was the people that helped Dani with the fashion show. They're very uppity, and they were being uppity and kind of rude to Eva, and I was wishing she could clap back to them, but she can't because she needs their help planning the anniversary party for Ted and Nicole, and even didn't know about all these fancy things that they were talking about. That made me roll my eyes, but I guess those are the people that the Duprees like to associate with. And Eva just wants Ted and Nicole to have a great anniversary party, allegedly, even though her mother, Dana, is planning the downfall of that couple by revealing the truth about Eva. But that continues to be the big thing that the show is building towards. Hopefully that will be next week. I mean, the invitation does say April 29th, but I believe Beyond the Gates might have some preemptions next week because of soccer, of all things. So we'll see how that works out. But looking forward to that party coming about. On the flip side of things, we'll get to the whole Dupree family meeting at Uptown. But while they were all there, Kat was discussing with Ted at one point how she wishes she was planning the anniversary party because she thinks Eva's going to bomb it. She didn't. Let me see. I wrote down her exact quote about Eva planning the party. She said she doesn't want it to be a ratchet block party. And this, once again, is showing how classist that Kat is, especially when it comes to Eva. So when Eva does things like in this episode and flirts with Tomas again, it's very hard for me to feel sorry for Kat, Mrs. Kat, who doesn't know if she wants to give her virginity up to Tomas yet. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for Kat at all, and I don't think I ever will. And I actually still like the Kat character, even though she is classist when it comes to Eva. As for Tomas and Eva, the actor that plays Tomas, Mr. Robot, I think I might start calling him. He is very robotic with his lines. Sometimes not even Eva can save him. But I do still think that the Eva and Tomas scenes are the only scenes he's decent in sometimes. I liked Eva really getting deep with Tomas in today's episode, talking about her past, although she lied about some of it. She went with the whole story that she and Dana concocted at the beginning of the show, that she lost her mother at a young age, and this woman, Leslie, took her in, and that's who she sees as her real mother now. She went on to talk about how her mother met a man named Alan, but the guy didn't want her to call him dad, and she just always wanted a real dad, and that's why sometimes she wishes she could be like Kat and have a real dad. And it's nice to see Eva and Tomas deepen their relationship, even if it doesn't go into a relationship territory, which it probably will. I'm still on the fence of if I want it to. I still think both Eva and Kat need a better third party than Tomas to have a triangle with, because the man's so robotic. But they had a deep conversation today, And I do like that they at least are developing a friendship. So good for Eva there. As for her mother, Dana was meeting with Mona and Ashley's mom, whose name I can never remember. And once again, Dana has a new wig. I'm assuming that wig is going to play a part at the anniversary party. But apparently it's a very expensive wig, which Mona and Ashley's mom called her out on, because these are the have-nots of the show, who are always meeting at Orphe Jean's, discussing all the drama about the uppity people beyond the gates. What fascinates me about this little trio of have-nots is that Dana is kind of hurting Mona's closest person. Like, Mona feels very deeply about Laura, like she's her daughter. And here is Dana now ruining Laura's life. So I'm actually interested in the fallout of if that ever comes out, that it is Dana who's been messing with Laura, how that affects her friendships. I think at some point, even though Dana is going to... I have a hard time calling her Dana because I always want to call her Leslie. I don't ever know what to call her with all these personas. But whenever Dana/Leslie does reveal the truth and kind of tries to ruin Nicole's life, and if Nicole's life starts to fall apart because of Ted's affair and Ted having the daughter with Eva, and then you have Andre and Dani sleeping together, if Nicole's perfect life one day falls apart, which I hope that is where the show is going, I also see that soon after, Dana's life is going to fall apart because Eva's going to be upset with Dana, and then her friends are going to be upset with Dana. And who's Dana going to have? So Dana might ruin her own life by destroying Nicole's, and I think it's going to be a fascinating watch for both of those characters. So I've always loved the build to this story. It has always interested me the most. We'll talk about the whole karaoke night at Uptown, I guess. Dani and Naomi wanted to have a surprise for Anita. The whole family ended up meeting there, and Naomi wanted to sing karaoke, but then she called Dani up, but then Dani called Anita up. You know, Anita has this whole history as a singer back in the 70s or 80s. I don't know exactly when she was this famous singer, but Anita didn't like being called up, and I kind of understood it because she has this reputation as a famous musical artist at one point, and she talked to Vernon when the kids were trying to call her up that she needs to be warmed up and prepared when she sings, and Vernon should know this. Vernon gave her a pep talk, and Anita did end up singing with Naomi and Dani, and it was cute. You know, Tamara Tooney, at first, when she first started singing, it was a little rough. I'm not going to lie. It was giving me Ashley from Real Housewives of Potomac, Ashley Darby. It was a little rough. But she pulled it together. She was very stiff, but maybe that was the character of Anita being stiff in the moment. But when she actually got the backup vocals of Dani and Naomi, I thought it worked by the end of that song. It wasn't as cringe as I thought it was going to be by the end of the song. It started a little rough, though, in my opinion. But I still thought that was a cute scene. You know, I like that this show always likes to have these big get-togethers, especially with the Dupree family. My biggest thing is I wish there was a little more turmoil in the family, and maybe that will happen when the whole Nicole and Ted stuff happens with Dana and Eva. We are starting to get more and more of Chelsea's feelings towards Dani, how she sucks the air out of her room, how she's always felt suffocated by Dani. So I guess we at least have that going for the family. It's not all rainbows and sunshine and let's blow a bunch of rainbows up Dani's ass that she can never do any wrong, even though she's always fucking up. It's good to see Chelsea kind of be the outlier to that. Also today, really the only other thing was the whole Joey, Doug, Vanessa stuff. Vanessa and Nicole, before Nicole went off to Uptown, Vanessa was worried about Doug, despite her being a hypocrite, because she's always having these extramarital activities, as she said. But Joey was meeting up with Doug at the hospital after he hurt his hand, because Joey wants to know how Doug's going to pay him back now. If he can't work and get money, how does Doug plan on paying Joey back? Doug thought Joey was going to give him a point in time when he had to owe Joey the money. Joey is saying that time is now. He's trying to put Doug between a rock and a hard place. He wants Doug under his thumb here. That's what the show's been building towards for a while now. Doug was saying Joey was asking if there's anyone that cares about Doug who might get him out of this predicament, and he said Vanessa. But Vanessa then showed up to the hospital, and Joey and Doug played like, they were just being friendly with each other. I was kind of hoping this story was going to move a little more in this episode than it actually did. It's good to see Joey finally push back at Doug and play hardball with Doug, because he's just been playing fake nice for weeks now, and the story's kind of just been treading water. It did develop kind of nicely last week, like I said last week, that it finally gave Doug more layers and made me actually care more about the story. But I still wish it would just move faster, because it's not the most interesting to me. But I'm still giving it a chance for now. I still think the show can do more with Joey, and I'm hoping they do at some point. He's talked about an ex-wife. It would be nice to see an old soap star come in as his ex-wife. If they're going to make Joey the big bad, there's plenty of potential entertaining soap stars out there, ex-soap stars, that could give some more eyes to the show. But we'll see if they ever actually start building an actual family around Joey, because his mother's allegedly dead, so that's one person that he can't build within. So maybe an ex-wife would be interesting. But yeah, that was about it. Not the most dramatic episode, but still enough little things to keep me entertained. Enough cute family moments, and of course Eva and Dana. Still the most interesting part of the show overall, to me anyway. So that was all for today. Of course, we'll be back later this week. Unless tomorrow's episode is big, then I'll be back tomorrow. But if not, I'll probably be back Wednesday. As for now, I do want to put in the first little promo for the Traders OCG, my little web series competition reality show that will debut in late May.
So if I was given the option to be a trader, I would be the most innocent, gentle, shy, compassionate, coy, Bambi-like trader.
I was curious, is anyone sketched out by anyone yet?
Not yet.
Raven, you're
sorry. Yes, I was very suspicious of her.
I could probably be a really good trader. Like, if we can form an alliance, that'd be cool, man.
Did take note of Lori, and she said she wanted to form an alliance.
Lori, please don't let her be the grandma that's a traitor.
14 players will enter the game.
I'm back again.
It's your boy, Dot.
I see two people who are familiar. I'm like fangirling over here.
And that's something I've been concerned about.
I am a chaotic person.
If you're a trader, put that on your mom.
Oh,